Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Omar Stennett, and it is so good to have you to join us for one more of our broadcasts. It will be a very good one, so stay tuned because we have a lot of good stuff to share with you for this week's episode. We're going to talk about some NFL. We're also going to talk about some NBA basketball. So just hold on because it's going to be a good one. Yes, indeed. Alright, so we're just going to get right into it right now. There are a couple of things that I am sure about, and I'm sure you want to know what I am sure about. So here we go. The NFL kicked off, the playoffs continued over the weekend. Alright, Saturday and Sunday, and we had some very interesting games. So I'm going to give you a quick recap and then tell you what I think going into what we would call the semifinals this weekend before we have the Super Bowl. Yes, we are coming up close to that, so get ready. Well, most notably was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. That was Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. Both quarterbacks were 42 years old. You know, veterans in the business. And guess what? The smart one, the Brady Bunch, came out victorious. He and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the New Orleans Saints. I had picked the New Orleans Saints, but they just never got into the game offensively, and there were a couple of interceptions thrown by Drew Brees. And I think that affected the flow of the game. But really, you can't give... I don't think it's the kind of game that you can say Tom Brady had a good game, because it was really dominated by both teams' defense. We never had a lot of what you call touchdowns and stuff. But the Buccaneers did defend it better. And that I must give to them. You didn't see Gronkowski, you didn't see Antonio Brown. These guys never had any major impact. There's no notable play by Tom Brady. Same thing with Drew Brees and his end. The Tampa Bay Buccaneer was really outstanding, and they surprised me because they have been struggling all season. And so hats off to them. They move on, and guess what? It is like this side of the NFL is like the oldest but goodies, because now Tom Brady is moving on to take on the Green Bay Packers. Yes, with Aaron Rodgers, and that is going to be very interesting. Of course, you know, I am going with the Green Bay Packers because they had the best offense in the entire NFL this season, and they defeated the LA Rams. The Rams had the best defense coming into the game, and I mean, I was very surprised. But Rodgers is a very, very good quarterback. This Green Bay team is very, very, very good, and so I am expecting them to defeat Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am not sure that I am sure, but because it is I Am Sure Sports, I want you to know that I am sure that I am picking Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. So please comment and let me know what you think is happening on this side. And then we had the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, they'll be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs kind of won their game very, very easily, but they have some concerns because their quarterback, Mahomes, he had a concussion in the game, and the concussion protocol could possibly keep him out of this game on the weekend. And even if he plays, he was limping throughout the game, so I think that may affect his play. And then the Buffalo team is a very good team. They are very good defensively, and they are very good offensively, right? The Cleveland Browns were knocked out, as you know, by the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Baker Mayfield never had a good game, and the Browns, you know, this was like the first playoff in decades, and so it was kind of hard for them, but they did very, very well this season. They were missing a few players as well, and so the Chiefs won that. But I think the Bills pose a different challenge. You know, the Buffalo is upstate New York, and so I have to go with the Bills just because I think Mahomes is not in the best of health. I just feel like the Bills are going to dominate them, defensively, and the Bills have a lot more weapons on the offensive side of the game, more so than the Cleveland Browns team that the Kansas City Chiefs defeated. Now, if Mahomes is up to full fitness, it will be very difficult because he's that good in terms of his quality. He's very, very good. But if you look at the Bills game, I mean, these guys locked down Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is very good at the run game as a quarterback. I mean, he was totally locked down by this Bills team. I mean, they're a very, very good team. So this is a younger generation of quarterbacks on this side. And so let's see, will it be the Bills versus the Green Bay Packers? Will it be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers? Or will Tom Brady and the Bucs bunch make it through and get into the Super Bowl? I don't know. But I am sure that if Mahomes is not up to full fitness, I am sure that the Bills will beat them and make it to their first Super Bowl in 2 decades. Not only that, I think if they make it, one of these two teams from this side will win. Either the Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs. That's my pick. I'm picking one of these two to take the whole thing. The winner of the Super Bowl come from this side of the semis. And so look out for that. The games are this weekend and they'll be very interesting. All right. Now I'm going to touch on some NBA basketball. The trade with Houston Rockets, Brooklyn Nets, and a couple of other teams has been completed. And James Harden made his debut for the Brooklyn Nets. And I just want you, one of the things that has been happening with Brooklyn is just the state of Kyrie Irving. I believe he's one of the top 5 point guards in the league, and probably he is a top 15 player in the entire NBA. Good skills, very good offensively. He's not so good defensively. I think James Harden is also a very, very good player on the offensive end, but he's not good defensively. Durant is a better two-way player. He can guard some people, and you're not going to be able to score against him because he has a long reach. And he's dynamic. Trust me, I am sure that he is one of the most dynamic and skilled offensive players in the NBA. So on the offensive end, they are very strong, but they have a very weak bench, and the other two, DeAndre Jordan and the other guys in their starting line, they are not good enough, and I don't believe they have all the pieces to really take on LeBron James and the Lakers, who I believe will be coming out of the West. And so though this trade looks good, they may be the Eastern Conference champions, and I think they will even have a hard time getting past the Bucks. And so that's my Eastern Conference final, the Bucks versus Brooklyn. And it will be very hard. They could, if Kyrie is in a right place mentally, because he seems to be struggling with some mental stuff right now. I think just his whole attitude towards the game. You almost sense, like, from the rumors about James Harden coming to Brooklyn kind of surface, Kyrie has become notably absent from the Brooklyn games. Could it be that he wasn't all into that, but Durant was into it? And now the argument is, whose team is it? Is it Kyrie's team? Is it KD's team? Where will Harden fit in to all of that? And so I am sure, though, if they all can, the chemistry, because it's not just to be, competent. Chemistry is important. 3 things are important in building any successful team or business. It is competence, character, and chemistry. And here's the thing, these guys are very competent. All right? Chemistry is very hard to build. It's very hard because people have different personalities. You can always have an expert come in and help to build the competence of people. But chemistry takes a lot of time together and relational building up stuff to get that to work. And so they're going to struggle with chemistry. and competence will not be able to get them to win the championship, though it may let them win some games in the East. And then character is important, and when we speak of character, we're talking about their attitude towards the game. How committed will these guys be? Being superstars to the defensive end of the court, to pass the ball to the person with the better shot. Will they all want to take over the game at different points of the game? And so that's what we have to look at. The other thing is, what about injuries? Kevin Durant and Kyrie are coming off long time injuries. And so what that means is that, what if that affected them again? It changes the whole dynamics. And this is like, they have to win, because Brooklyn gave up so much to complete this trade. Like, there's no looking back. They have no draft picks left. They have no asset that are tradable, because most teams after this season and next season won't trade for Kevin Durant, won't trade for Kyrie based on the length of their contract, or even James Harden. It's almost like this is their final hurrah, I am sure. And so check that out. I also want you to keep this in mind. It is very possible, given what has happened in Brooklyn, that the LA Lakers may seek to add a next piece. And if they do that, wow, who can they get to kind of balance the whole thing? Because I think if you look at it, LeBron, if they were to meet in the final, LeBron and KD almost like, I would say they level out each other. Now the question is, who does Brooklyn have that can be as dominant as Davis? And that's the thing. He's like a nightmare matchup, because there's no one in Brooklyn who can guard him. No one on the Brooklyn team can guard him. And if KD and LeBron are matched up against each other, then who is going to mark AD? Now, Kyrie, I've seen Kyrie dominated by point guards who are aggressive defensively. And I've seen James Harden struggle in playoff game after playoff game. So really, KD is the man. And if he's locked down by LeBron, how will Brooklyn win having to counter AD? So I am sure that they will struggle, because chemistry-wise, I don't see this working, though they are competent. And I don't believe they kind of have the Mambo character like Kobe. These guys don't have the championship character. And whenever there are issues in their team, they normally run or hide. And so I am sure that Lakers will repeat. I am sure that this Brooklyn experiment is going to fail. And I am sure that the Bucks will even defeat them and come out of the East. Today we're going to deal with some football right across Europe, and then we're going to give you some details on the series, the test series between Australia and India that ended. Some good story coming out of that, so we want you to hear about that, so please stay tuned. All right, so let's dive right into it by looking at this fourth test match between Australia and India. Remember, I told you I was sure that India would win 2-1. Well, guess what? It is so. So again, I am sure, it's surely right. India defeated Australia in the fourth test, and they regained the Sunil Gavaskar Trophy, having won the series 2-1. All right, Australia won the first game, India won the second game, the third game was drawn, and the fourth game, India won. And what a match it was. Listen, at one point, it looked like Australia was going to win. Then it looked like India was going to win. Then Australia came back into the game, and then India took over. I mean, their two openers, Gill and Pujara, the number 3, they came on and they made a partnership of over 100 runs for the third wicket. It was. And if you watch the game, Pujara was on 16 from 123 deliveries. Gill at the same time was 88 from 123 deliveries. India had a clear strategy. Lose no wicket and score runs from one end. And try as they could, will, or wanted to, Australia could not get the breakthrough. When they finally started getting the breakthrough, it was too late. India won with 18 delivery to face for the end of the day play and took the series. They did this without having Bumrah, one of their best bowlers in the last couple of years. Sammy, who was also one of their better bowlers, not being there. Ashwin did not play, one of their better bowlers. Their captain, Virat Kohli, was not there. A very young Indian team that, defeated this mature, older Australian team. Mark you, the captain of the Australian team is Tim Payne, new to captaincy, but they still have Steve Smith. They still have David Warner, who struggled, especially David Warner in this series. Nathan Lyon, their top spinner, he struggled as well to kind of get any sort of breakthrough and stuff. And so, now India has gone to the number one in the ICC Test ranking, and New Zealand is right behind them. England is next, and then Australia has slipped all the way down to 4th place. But this is so good because it helps us to better look at our own cricket here in the West Indies and realize that 7 of the players who were representing India in this match played at the under 19 World Cup. The 2 under-19 World Cups, the one that the West Indies went to the final and won, and the other one where they advanced to the semi-finals. The India team had these players coming through and doing well. So what is happening to our under-19 talent that they're not making the transition? And we need to really look at that. I believe how the T20 cricket competition operates in India, it is giving their younger players an opportunity to get their game going and to play well and to play better and to develop the skills necessary to succeed at the highest level. Because in their T20 competition, the IPL, there's an influx of overseas players who play for the top teams. When we have our local, the CPL, which is the Caribbean Premier League, what happens is we get the bottom of the barrel overseas player. We really don't get the top players out of New Zealand coming to play, the top players out of England, the top players out of Australia. No, we don't. And I think that is the problem. We keep this T20 league and then get the bottom of the barrel player. Believing that we have the best T20 talent in the world. We have, I would say, 11 good T20 players. And they are scattered over 6 teams or 7 teams. And so if you divide that, you have like almost 1.9 something per team. And so what that means is that we don't have enough talent in our T20 competition to help to make our youngsters better. And so we need to look at that in terms of West Indies cricket. If this is going to be a pathway to good test performances, then the quality in the CPL must be similar to that of the IPL. It may require money, but it takes money to make money. That's just how it works. Now, we want to move on to some football. And if you're a Manchester United fan watching this, you're super, super excited because you are leading the Premier League. And the last time you led the Premier League at this point, you won the league. But your excitement won't last so long. You have a very, very good team, but I think you're missing a few important pieces that will help you to win the league this year. And so I don't want to disappoint you, but you will not win the league this season, I am sure. But great performances. You will be in the top 4, possibly 3rd, and you could come 2nd. But I think the team that has gone under the radar is Manchester City. They are now in 2nd place with a game in hand, and if they win this game, they lead Manchester United. And all it takes now, based on the point standing, is for a team to lose one game and you fall 3 places. One loss and you fall 3 places. That's how tight it is. So my Manchester United fans, listen, great team, great performances. Pogba has come on really well. I think your coach has gotten your defense to work better. It has given your goalkeeper confidence. I think up front there's a couple things missing, and I think in midfield you are doing well. But up front needs to be sorted out. I don't think Martial does good playing down the middle, and Cavani is too old. If you could buy Martinez from Inter Milan, you're in. I'm sure. No major news as well on the transfer market. Just a couple of things happened. The contract of Diego Costa was terminated by mutual consent by Atletico Madrid. And what that means is that now they bought Moussa Dembele, who played for Lyon in France, so now he's at Atletico Madrid. That's one major move, if you want to call it that. The other one is that Mesut Ozil is no longer an Arsenal player. I'm not sure, there are mixed feelings about whether he's a club legend or not. He had 7 years at Arsenal, and I would say he had 3.5 excellent years. And if Arsenal had gotten him good pieces, I think he would have done a whole lot better. And I don't like how this was handled in terms of how it ended. I mean, they gave Danny Welbeck a big send-off. Danny Welbeck, a big send-off. There's no way he deserved a better send-off than Mesut Ozil. And I hope the Arsenal hierarchy and board will look at that. He's gone to his boyhood club, Fenerbahce, and good for him. Wish him all the best. And I hope he goes back to his years of playing when he was at Real Madrid in that first season, or when he won the World Cup with the Germany national team. A very good player, but you know, sometimes we have to separate to improve. And I think the separation will improve Arsenal and will improve Ozil's career at the back end. Nothing significant happening in Europe. PSG is back at the top of the Ligue 1 in France. RB Leipzig over in Germany, who were leading, they are just like slipping like rapid. And you know, Bayern Munich is back up there. Atletico Madrid continues to lead in La Liga. All right, over in Italy, it's very strange because Roma is in third, Inter is in second, and AC Milan with Zlatan Ibrahimovic is in first place, and Juve is in fourth place. Can you believe it? Juve that couldn't lose a game 2 seasons ago are losing games and tying games, though they have a better squad, but there's a lot of indiscipline in that squad right now. So I mean, that's what is happening. But I am sure that AC Milan will not win La Liga. I think Inter Milan is going to surprise some, so look out for them. I also don't believe that Atletico Madrid will win the La Liga title. So Inter will win Serie A, I believe. I'm sure. I am sure that Atletico will not win La Liga. I am sure PSG, in spite of all your struggles and change of coaches to Pochettino right now, they are going to win Ligue 1 as usual. And I'm selecting City with Manchester United and Liverpool close behind to win the Barclays Premier League. Listen, that's it. I'm sure India is better than Australia, home and away. This was I Am Sure Sports, and so thank you for joining us for one more episode. Right? Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and follow. I am Omar Stennett. Listen, we have some great interviews coming up on our live stream in the next couple of weeks. Big international footballers, leaders in terms of sporting in Jamaica, and so stay tuned for that, and we're going to have some giveaways as well. You may even win your favorite jersey, Premier League jersey. Just look out, a lot of good things coming up beginning of February and onward. I am sure things are going to get better. Remember, your nugget for today: it takes money to make money. I am sure.